Tomorrow marks 3 weeks since we first told the story of Quinton Simon. It is a case that started with a missing little boy that is now a criminal investigation. Today, investigators have wrapped up their search of the Chatham County landfill where they believe the child's body is dumped. WSAV's lead investigative reporter Brett Buffington is live tonight from West Chatham County with everything we've learned from day one until now.
There are so many questions about this case. Police say they believe Quinton's body was put in a dumpster, but they won't tell us where. And they've named Quinton's mom, Leilani, as their one and only suspect, but they won't tell us why. With so many questions, we just want to share what we do know. 20 days ago,
Chatham 7 Alpha 2.
this was a story
Plaintiff advised her 1-year-old son is missing.
about a little boy who was missing.
$350 received.
His mom said taken,
It's Leilani, and her son is Hawaiian.
but that story did not stick long.
Yes, we feel like whatever Leilani's story doesn't add up.
This grandmother, with custody of little Quinton, left town, left Quinton in this southwest Chatham County home to be looked after by Quinton's mother, her daughter, Leilani.
Leilani, do you have anything to say?
What we've learned about this little boy's mom dates back years. She was evicted for not paying rent in Long County. That was 2019. In 2020, charged with breaking into Quinton's grandfather's trailer and stealing money. Last year, arrested in North Carolina, Quinton's mom was accused of stealing cigarettes, a soda, and popcorn from her job. Those two charges for stealing are why she was on probation last month when her and her mom got in a fight over the washing machine. The police report calls Quinton's mom a thief. Her own brother told the officer Leilani Simon steals money to buy drugs. A day later, Grandma wanted Leilani gone. That grandmother, a star in this viral video taken just days after Quinton went missing.
Your entire family, keep recording.
Billy Joe, with her husband, flat out said Leilani is a liar.
Bad to say, but she just likes to lie.
That grandmother was with Quinton's mom when this picture was taken, as the waitstaff at this Tybee Island bar says, drinking and flirting. Police believe that this little boy, whose mom said he was taken to a trash dumpster, thrown in like garbage, and is now somewhere in this dump. And no one has been arrested, and no one has been charged. And so many people in this community and across the country tonight are looking at the Chatham County Police Department and asking why. We are live in Southwest Chatham County tonight. I'm Brett Buffington, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Hey guys, let me know if you guys can hear me. Hold on, let me go to my phone and see if you guys can see me yet. What's up guys? Can you guys hear me? Do you hear any loud machine noise in the background? Can someone just let me know in the chat? Of course, before I go live, there was something major technical going on. Oh my gosh. I want to see that. No, sounds okay. Nothing in the background. Okay, cool. Yay. Okay, cool. You guys can hear me. Everything's good. All right. Hey guys. Hello to everybody in chat. Let me see your guys' comments really quick. So obviously we're back here once again talking about Quinton Simon. I can't listen to myself talk. It's weird. And I do have a question pinned right now when you come onto the stream. So you should see it pinned. Make sure you guys are answering that because we're going to go through that. That's how we're going to be starting today with just going over what you guys think about the interview. I feel like with this case, there was a lot of stuff that unfolded over the weekend. Not in regards to Quinton being found or Leilani or anybody being arrested, but the family has come out and spoken on behalf of Leilani. And then we have Leilani doing that interview, which I call a shit show, in my opinion. Master manipulator, I think. I have so much to say about that. But, I mean, we had that go on. And so there's just a lot to catch up with you guys. But I just want to see what you guys said about what was your initial thought when you first watched that interview. Hey Sandra, how are you doing? Hi Angela, she says hey. Hey Vicky, she says hello everybody. Hi Python, how are you doing today? Says it's a big show for the camera. I mean, I was surprised she got those tears in there, but then when we look at that arrest record photo of her, you can tell she had been crying too. It's probably not that hard for her to cry. Hey Roxanne, I'm just catching up to the chat to make sure you guys, and let's see what Vanessa says. So Vanessa says, my thoughts are the mother did this and the grandmother knows this. So does law enforcement. So they wouldn't be in that landfill. It's heartbreaking. And I agree with Vanessa with this too. I know some people are starting to think, what if Quinton isn't in the landfill? But remember, law enforcement knows things we don't know, you guys. They have surveillance. They have the phone. They interviewed people. So keep that in mind when we're thinking, oh, what if this or what if that? I'm going with what they're saying and I'm trusting what they're saying. And unfortunately, I do think that Quinton is in that landfill. And I do believe that Leilani is responsible for just placing him in the dumpster. I do still think, I think Danny is still involved. I know you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just can't. It doesn't make sense for him not to know more about that morning. It makes no sense. A lot of you are saying, Sarah says Casey Anthony. Yeah, definitely a Casey Anthony situation I do see. Hey, Melissa, she says, I can hear you. Hey, Leo, I was just thinking of you. How are you doing today? I was like, I hope Leo's doing good and she's here today. Hey, Arizona. It is 78 degrees in Arizona. It's been really, really nice out here, you guys. I've been enjoying the weather a lot. It's where you can have your coffee outside and just enjoy the breeze without it being like a hot, like Death Valley breeze. Yeah. Hey, Darlene. She says she's horrible. Hey, Rosewood Thorns. Thank you for letting me know nothing in the background. Well, you guys just let me know. I do have the earphones in just so I'm able to hear anything. Because earlier when I uploaded that video for you guys with the one of Grandma talking to Bubba, Quinton's dad, I had to record that like 3 times because there was some huge, like, I don't know, what, like really loud sound coming through. I don't know what it was. Hey, Fairy, how are you doing today? And then I haven't even said hello to my mod, Delana. Delana, are you alone in the house? Are you the only mod here? The tall diva's in the house. What's up? She says, I think she's detoxing and not well. You haven't seen the interview? So, oh, okay. So we're going to watch it today together, you guys. There's a couple of things we're going to go over. We're going to go over the most recent thing that's unfolded today, and that is going to be the audio that was released. So Daily Mail, they released like 30 seconds of an 11-minute audio. So they have this audio from Quinton's dad and Billy Joe. So there's, I don't know, I'm assuming that Bubba recorded it, but, they're talking on the phone, and in the little snippet they released to us, you hear Billy Joe saying, that, going over her theory that she thinks it was like there was an accident in the bathtub. And then in the article, they go over more of what's on this audio. But of course, they only give us 30 seconds. But keep your eyes out on the lookout for that, because I bet you later on today, they're going to give us another 30 seconds and another 30 seconds and another 30 seconds until they release a lot of it, which I wish they would just give it to us all. Like, don't you hate that? I hate that they don't give us everything. So we're going to listen to that. And then I did clip all of Leilani's interviews together, and I did some editing to it, and I added some other stuff to it. And then I included some professionals with law enforcement background. They actually have watched Leilani's interview, and they've given their opinion. One is an retired FBI agent. So I include all of that in the video so we can look at all of that and just have a good discussion on it. And I'm like, do I have anything else I want to go through? Probably. Some of you are saying this is turning into a circus. I mean, we just got to make sure here at our channel, you guys, when we're here, we are focused on on Quinton, on the case, on the search, and also, yeah, we want to hear what everybody has to say regarding this case, whether that be Leilani. I don't know about you, but I want to hear what she has to say, whether that be Paul. Paul, I'm waiting for you, bro, to do an interview or put something out. I want to know from Paul, the brother, because he was there when something happened at Quinton. And I want to know what happened when Quinton was dropped off. Did he have dinner? Did he in fact take a bath? Like what went on in that home? Paul has been very quiet. I mean, I kind of don't blame him. He is young. I think he's like 21, so I don't blame him. But still, I have questions. Hey, Izzy, she said it made her sick when I watched it. How many of you got really upset when you first watched it? I will admit I did get upset. I did. I was yelling at my computer. I was like, this bitch. But I kind of also felt, and you guys are going to come for me, I kind of also felt a little bit bad for the grandma. I know you guys are going to be like, stop it, crazy. Stop it with your little sweetness, your little sweet side you have. Hey, Gold, how are you doing? It's onions. It makes you cry. Oh, for Leilani? She could be crying for herself, you guys. Let's not confuse it. She could be crying for herself. Definitely. I mean, I know I've been reading a lot. I've been watching a lot of live streams, people that have been covering this, and I have been seeing what chat has been saying for this. And because I like to watch other people sometimes, especially because it's not in my chat. So I feel like I want to make sure everybody can agree to disagree on my chat, but I do like reaching out and see what other chat says. And I did see people were saying maybe she's feeling guilt from like, feeling a little guilty from knowing she did do something to Quinton, or knowing that there was an accident. Maybe those emotions are coming through. I don't know. I just think she's feeling anything, I feel like it's just her feeling sorry for herself. That's it. Because in the interview, you guys, it's all about her. Me, poor me. I can't even go to his memorial site. Me. Like, it's all about her. Melissa says, yes, exactly. They know a lot more than we do. Yeah, law enforcement knows more, so I'm trusting them, what they say. I believe, unfortunately, Quinton is in the landfill, and I do believe that, they do have something major. Remember, because law enforcement said, Chatham County stated that, they have certain evidence that leads them that Leilani at a certain dumpster. She placed Quinton in a certain dumpster. They're not saying we're searching all these dumpsters. No, they're saying, they have the dumpster that they believe she did it. How do they have it? Phone data, surveillance, all of that stuff. Hey, Tony Smith. Locals on the ground, they say Leilani was spotted near a large dumpster. He actually told us a few days before the feds started searching. Tony, that actually was shared in the Facebook group early on. I'm not sure if you're in one of the groups for this case, but early on, there's always people that live nearby or know somebody with family, and they can post anonymously, which I kind of enjoy, because then people will post on there certain information. And it was shared early on, if you guys remember, that there was surveillance of her at a dumpster at some mobile, trailer park home or some shit like that. And they even gave the name to it. And that's why everybody started searching that on their Google Earth. We all started searching that map. And I think the distance was only like 6 minutes from where Leilani lives. We actually did a good live stream where we looked at that. Hey, ATS. Make sure you guys are following ATS. She's also covering this. I think she's slow. She knows the case really well, but I think she's slowly starting to cover it. I think she's probably a little reserved, probably from Summer Wells. I don't blame her. Rose says, I think the grandma is pointing too many fingers and seeming sus. Yeah, I think so too. But then again, grandma's the one who came out and told us that her daughter lies. Her and grandpa, the daughter lies. She doesn't always do the right thing. And then what about that newest audio that got released? It's not technically a new interview. It was part of the first interview that she did with Grandpa, and I think Grandpa's wearing like that orange shirt or some shit like that. And they released a new part of that. We got to watch that. Someone remind me, we got to watch that too. People are thinking she's on drugs on that one. I don't think so. Leo, thank you for asking. You always ask. I'm doing pretty good today. Thank you so much. After this, we're going to go Halloween shopping. The girls better get their costume. They still don't know what they are. I don't want to be that mom on Saturday going to the Halloween club store. I don't want to be that mom. $5, I'm that mom. All right, you guys. So Melissa says, I really hope they release the full audio, but they still gave us a decent amount. Yeah, I agree, Melissa. I agree. All right, I think I'm caught up. Hopefully I'm not. So let me see. All right. Hey, Buff Fluff. Buff Fluff Midwest, hello. All right, I think I caught up. Hey, Jen, and then one big hello to anybody else I missed, and then also replay gang, people that watch this, from afar that don't comment, and then anybody new, don't be shy, get in the chat, let us know you're new. All right, so I guess what we're going to do is we're going to start with the most recent thing, like I said. So I am going to... I don't like that. Okay, hold on. I'm going to read the article first, and then we will watch the little snippet they gave us of what Billy Joe is telling Bubba. And you guys don't mind me reading it from my phone. It's just less things I got to do with StreamYard, the better for me. Hey, Nanny. She says that she's new but seems to be a great chat. Well, thank you, Nanny, to 2 boys. Congratulations on being a nanny. How is that? How old are the boys? Let's see. Let's go here. Let's see if it works today. Fingers crossed. Okay, it does. So far it does. Yay. Hi, Sky. How are you doing today? Sky Z. I had to say Sky Z because you guys know I have a mod named Sky. All right. All right, so let's see. And again, thank you guys for being here and discussing this case with me. I really do appreciate you guys. Okay. Hey, Valerie. I see Valerie in the house. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it, Valerie. I set this live late for you, just for you today. All right, everything's still good. So I'm going to start with the article, and then we will read. We will listen to the little snippet they gave us. Nanny says, 1 and 2, another baby on the way. We will find out the gender at Christmas. Thanks so much for asking. Ooh, you have little ones. Oh my gosh, and another one. Oh my gosh, are they all from the same child? Woo, she got her hands full, or he, or both, actually, when they're that small. All right, you guys, so let me read this article to you guys. So this is coming from the Daily Mail, and it was posted today, October 26th. So let me read this to you guys. So the grandmother of Quinton Simon believes the missing toddler accidentally drowned in a bathtub because her daughter and boyfriend were passed out on drugs. Now, so this is something that we have been hearing recently from Michael, who is Leilani's half brother. He did an interview with Voices Behind the Wall, and then I've also seen him in some chat, and he also was pushing this out too. So it looks like the family is believing that Quinton, their theory of what they're thinking is that Quinton, there was an accident, in the bathtub, and that Leilani and Danny were both high on drugs, passed out, and this happened. Now, I said this in the video I made earlier, and I asked this. I said, I wonder, because think about this. When you guys found out that Quinton went missing, when we talked about, and we've talked quite often about this, about the different theories, what could have happened to Quinton, I never once thought something happened with the bathtub. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in chat. Did you ever think about there might have been an accident with the bathtub? I never thought that. And you know what I thought at first when I seen they had a pool? I thought, shit, what if he got out and unfortunately went in the pool, drowned, and they covered it up. I thought maybe possibly that could have happened with an accident, but I never would have thought an accident with the pool. So it was interesting. It is interesting when you think of the bigger picture here, that the family that knows Leilani the best, you got the family that's living there, like grandma, she knows her daughter inside and out. It's interesting that she is thinking there was an accident with the pool and that Leilani was on drugs, passed out. So I can't help and wonder if this had happened before, possibly one of, maybe the oldest child, was he ever taking a bath and grandma came home and Leilani was passed out on drugs or something like that? Or, did, grandma go in the bathroom and the little baby, one of the kids were, in the bath and nobody watching them? I mean, or did an accident almost happen where maybe as one of them walked in, the kid went underwater? Leilani passed out on drugs. I don't know. It's just interesting that this is the theory that they think happened, that he was in the bathtub and that Leilani and Danny were passed out on drugs and that he accidentally drowned. I don't know. I can't help but wonder, did something like this happen in the past? I don't know. That's where I kind of feel like it's just interesting that this is the theory that they're coming up with. Oh my gosh, my daughter. Yes. See, they're already asking me. See, this is why I can't go live later on, because they're already home. And yeah, I told them yes already. Sorry, guys, mom life. I am a mom before anything. Sorry. This is why I like to go at 4. Okay. I told them at 4. Oh, shit. I got an hour to be here with you guys. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys say hi. My daughter says she's watching the live. I don't know why she's watching the live. Okay. All right, so now Billy, again, Billy Joe Howe, she's 45 years old. Now, she shared her theory on the case and much more in the bombshell conversation on Saturday with the child's biological father, Henry Bubba Moss. So his name is Henry. Remember, we were trying to figure out what his name was when we first covered this case. We're like, his name can't be Bubba. I don't think his mama named him Bubba. So it's Henry. So on Saturday, so that just passed. So she was talking to him on Saturday, and I guess this is when she shared, this theory and all this information. Interesting, it just happened. Now, her daughter, Leilani Simon, we know she's 22 years old. She has been named the main suspect in the disappearance of her 20-month-old son, Quinton. We know he vanished from his home in Savannah, Georgia on October 5th. Now, in the audio of an 11-minute audio, so this is a phone call, and the Daily Mail has this phone call, but they only released 30 seconds of it. Like I said earlier, just keep a lookout because they're going to be releasing probably another 30 seconds here and another 30 seconds there. So it says that you can hear Billy Joe saying, "I feel honestly and frankly, Bubba, I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like there was an accident," Billy Joe says. "I feel like something happened while Quinton was in the bathtub and he drowned and they were both high. That's my theory," Billy Joe said. And then Bubba says something that I think all of us would be saying. He says, "Hell, they should have just called the police if something like that happened." And then Billy Joe says, "If you're high as hell, man, you do stupid shit." I mean, I kind of agree with that statement. Sometimes when you are high, you do stupid shit. I get that, but I feel like she's finding an excuse for her daughter. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Bubba Gump shrimp. I know. Bubba Gump. Now, Billy Joe said police, meanwhile, have shared their own suspicion that Leilani, the boy's mother, blacked out that morning. So Billy Joe told, is all of this stuff that's being said is what Billy Joe said on this 11-minute recording. And I wish they would give us the whole 11-minute, but that law enforcement told her that that Leilani blacked out that morning, and that the police are the ones saying that she went into a traumatic state and blacked out. she told Bubba in the call. It's not her saying she don't remember. So it's not Leilani saying she don't remember. That's what police are telling her. And that's what they told me, she said. So Billy Joe once again is saying that, law enforcement told Leilani she blacked out. She's not remembering the events of that morning. And Billy Joe is saying that is something that they also told her. Why did they drain the pool? So Eden says, why did they drain the pool? I had heard because it was really cloudy and all of that stuff, and just to make sure they didn't miss anything in the pool. Any evidence may have been thrown in there or anything like that. That's what I heard. But again, let me see what chat says about it. Hey, Trisha. Now, Billy Joe says that she was away when her 20-month-old grandson vanished from their home in Savannah early October. Now, according to police, Leilani's boyfriend, Danny Youngkin, was the last one to see him at 6 a.m. It wasn't until 9 a.m. that his mother reported him missing. Now, police suspect Quinton's body was placed in a dumpster, and investigators have been searching the body in a nearby landfill. And today they made it post, Chatham County did. They're still searching the landfill, you guys. As of today, the 26th, they are still searching. And they also requested, I think, more finances. I think it was $250,000, I think it was. I could be mistaken on the amount for this search for Quinton. That's crazy. I mean, he's well worth it, in my opinion. It's just sad that all of this is, having to take place. And I feel like Leilani, if she can just open her mouth and admit to exactly what happened, but she's not. She's a coward in my book. Now, Leilani is the prime suspect. We know this already in the disappearance and presumed death of the 20-month-old, but police are yet to make an arrest. Now, Child Protective Services, they removed her other two children. Remember, she had, I think, 3 or 4-year-old Zane, and then the little baby. She had a little baby. Yes, a little baby. Only, I think she'd be 5 months now or 4 months. A little girl. She just had a little girl. Every time I say that out loud, it blows my mind that she has a little 4-month-old. It's sad. It's so sad. Because 99%, I'm 99% that Leilani's going to be arrested and charged and do life in prison. And it's sad that her little girl won't have her mother to raise her. But then again, look at the mother. So that's debatable, I guess, for some people. And the children were removed on October 12th. Now, on Monday, Leilani, she spoke out, and we're going to watch that in a bit. She was claiming she has now become a prisoner in her own home after being suspected of being involved in her son's disappearance. And I'm not going to read what that interview says because we're going to watch it right now. But she does say in the interview, I can't even walk out and appreciate my own son's memorial or put down gifts that I got for him, she continued. How many of you guys got so heated when you watched that part of that interview when she talks about the memorial and I can't even go out there and she's like crying and all this bullshit? And I'm just like, that one part right there really pissed me off. Now, let's see. Now, in the conversation with Bubba and Billy Joe, in their conversation, Bubba asked Billy Joe who has legal custody of Quinton and his older brother, why police are so confident he was in the dump. Now, they're saying they got video, she replied. Nobody's seen the video. So again, Bubba's asking about how are law enforcement so sure that he's in the dumpster. And this is the first time I've heard Billy Joe say this. I was really surprised to see this, even though I already assumed this based off of what I've seen on Facebook and stuff. But she's saying Billy Joe told Bubba in this audio that law enforcement told her they got video of her basically placing Quinton in this dumpster, which would make sense to me. It would make sense. But here's the thing. You guys are going to be saying, well, why isn't she arrested already? Well, just think of all the surveillance we see. Half of the time, the shit is so grainy as hell. You can't really see it. And not only that, what if you can't really tell that it's Quinton she's actually placing in the dumpster? What if it looks, I'm going to just assume, I don't know, that maybe she wrapped him in a blanket. What about that other case we followed where that young mom, what case was it? We covered it, and there's surveillance of her. Literally, she pulls up. It was daytime though; it was not dark, so the video of her was clear as day. She gets to a dumpster. She goes in the back seat. She grabs a bag out of there, and she literally just tosses it, like flings it, like that's her newborn baby. She just flings the bag inside of the dumpster. Thank God that there were some people that went there later on that day picking through the trash, and they actually found the baby, and the baby is okay and everything like that. But law enforcement obviously arrested her and everything like that. But I'm wondering, because of the time of the day, maybe the video is grainy. Maybe they can't tell for sure if that's Quinton. I mean, she could just say it was a blanket, so I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. That's probable cause enough. If they need to arrest her, they are keeping eyes on her, waiting to find his little body to charge her. Oh yeah, I think for sure, Sarah too, and let me know what you guys think. I think once they find Quinton, I think we're going to get that arrest right after. I do still question the boyfriend. I know law enforcement has said that she is the only person that they are investigating right now, but everything that we know with the timeline and everything, it just doesn't make sense for me that he isn't involved. I think he's still involved, you guys. Until they come out 100% and said, you know what, Daniel Youngkin has been cleared. We've investigated him and he has been cleared. Then I will be like, okay. But until they say that, I'm still going to be like, even if they do say that, I'm still going to have questions. But I don't know. I still have questions about him. I hope they do. I hope they find him. I mean, what day are we now? What day is it now that he would have been out there? Because it was trash day on October 5th. So he's been in that landfill. If it is true, in fact, that he was, and I do believe it's true that he was placed in the dumpster, he's been there since October 5th, you guys. Leo says maybe cameras at house like Brian Laundrie, so much of that surveillance. Well, they had an ADT system, but they didn't have, like, their backdoor camera or some shit like that wasn't working, or it was unplugged that day or something like that. Michael, the half brother, stated. I do believe they have cameras now all around the house working, I hear. But the day that this happened, allegedly the backdoor camera wasn't working at that time or some shit, conveniently. Hey, Mar. Hey, Meep. She said, did Danny see her giving Quinton a bath? We don't know exactly why the family is thinking the bath theory. Like I said, I think it's interesting because they are the family that is saying it. And, Paul, I want to know what Paul has to say, the brother, because the brother, he lived there. And not only that, he was there that day. So did he see them giving him a bath? Did he talk to his sister and was like, yeah, I talked to her and she sounded like she was high as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, what is he saying? Was Leilani on drugs that day? Did he see her doing drugs? And as a family member, once drugs are in play and they're on drugs, you can always tell when your family member's on drugs. No matter if they say, I'm not high, it's like, there's no denying it. So I don't know. Danny's been very quiet. I know, Leo. She says, how do these people live with themselves? Lou says, I don't agree with aggressive protest, but if they're going to do it, they need to protest everywhere. Danny is, I'm assuming you mean including Danny. I think that's what you mean, Lou. And let me know what you guys think about the protesters. The way I see it, I've always been taught, you stand for something or you fall for everything. So I understand protesting when you believe in something, but I think definitely there's a fine line. And a lot of times people cross it, protesting for what you believe in and harassment. I think going to the house and banging on the windows, on the doors, not letting people leave the driveway, that's harassment, in my opinion. That is not protesting whatsoever. That is strictly harassment. So I don't agree with that behavior, but I do support protesters. But again, if it's that you cross that fine line with it, I don't agree with it. So some of the things I hear, like, them playing the baby crying, that was so creepy to me. And some of the things I hear them saying, I'm just like, oh my gosh. But then again, they're saying other things that I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. So that's where I stand with it. It's like, I'm for protesters, but I'm not for harassment. And some of the shit I do see is definitely harassment. Like, there's no sugarcoating that shit. You should not be at their window, banging their window. You should not be blocking people leaving the driveway. You know what I mean? I wonder what the neighbors are saying with all of that. I would be livid. I need my sleep. I would be livid. But I do understand it. We have a missing, well, I feel weird even saying missing because, allegedly they believe he's in the landfill. But let me know what you guys think about the protesters. So again, getting back to this article with Billy Joe and Bubba, who is Quinton's dad, she's saying that law enforcement told her they have surveillance video of Leilani basically putting Quinton in a dumpster. Now, both she and Bubba, so both Billy and Bubba, were wondering why Danny wasn't named a suspect, expressing anger that he has since left town. The rumor was he was staying with family in Atlanta, but Billy Joe said he was actually in North Carolina. He lied about going to Atlanta, she said. He's not in Atlanta. He's in Dune, North Carolina. Did I say that right? I'm trying to, and check this out what she said. Billy Joe said, I'm trying to expose him right now online the best I can. Billy Joe said, in quotes, I'm trying to expose him right now online the best I can. So for Billy Joe knows what she's doing talking to these YouTubers. She fucking knows what she's doing. She's trying to expose him. The grandmother has spent much of the last couple of weeks held up in home with her daughter Leilani, her husband, and other family and friends who have come to support them. She told Bubba that she feels like a prisoner in her own house as the police investigation enters its third week. But she said the fact investigators haven't made an arrest suggests their case is weak. I can't believe she fucking said that, you guys. I couldn't believe when I read this article she said that. And I hope they release the audio. I want to hear her fucking say that. And I'm sorry I'm cussing, but I'm getting mad. She said the fact investigators haven't made an arrest suggests their case is weak. And you want your daughter to confess? Why? Oh my gosh, you guys. Today marks 3 weeks. Thank you, Rose. Oh my God. You guys, I don't like cussing like that too much on here, but I couldn't believe she said that. Oh my God. Hey Sky, she's here. Why are you showing a tooth? Do you get your tooth worked on today? Meep, what's the difference between IV and snorting coke? Do you get higher faster? It's a different high. I've never heard of an IV for coke. I know snorting it or turning it into rock, but I've never heard of an IV. Interesting. Sarah, do you think she's high in that video because of her jaw? I mean, we're going to watch it right now. But then again, you guys, it's that only that clip of that interview, and we've seen the rest of the interview. She's not doing that the rest of the interview, only for that clip, which I thought was interesting. I don't know. I know, Leo. It's so sad. He's such a precious little boy. They didn't deserve him whatsoever. Oh, shooting coke? Oh, so like rock then, right? You think she was high? So, Mar, you think grandma was high? Interesting. How many of you guys think Grandma was high in that interview, the one that she did with Grandpa? But that was like the first or second day Quinton was missing, and that's just half of it. It's only in that clip, though, that she's doing that with her jaw. The rest of it, she's not doing it. So I don't know. Hey, allegedly, he said he's done sexting. He's available. The family's just waiting to see if law enforcement find anything at the landfill. They already said they hope they don't find him there. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. And I mean, we know what Leilani said with it too. So I think she's basically saying too, I will admit to it if you find something. Yeah. Okay, so again, she says, Billy Joe says the investigators haven't made an arrest, so that tells her this case is weak. I can't believe she just said that shit. And then she says, I feel like the FBI is putting a lot of heat on all of us as a family, including you, she says. She's trying to get Bubba on her side, I think. And then she says, and they're doing it on purpose. Like they want to break us all down. Like there's something we will run up there and tell them. She was also skeptical that the FBI will be able to find Quinton's body in the landfill. Billy Joe once again says, you got to figure there's a lot of trucks that go out there and dump, she said. And it was a week before they decided that was where they were going to go. So that's a lot of trucks all week. I don't like the way any of that sounds. Now, Bubba shared his own news informing Billy Joe that the FBI actually tested his DNA to confirm that he is in fact Quinton's dad. He told Daily Mail earlier that police confronted him shortly after Quinton's disappearance after Leilani falsely accused him of snatching the child. In speaking with Billy Joe, Bubba didn't talk about that. So in that 11-minute audio, he doesn't discuss that. He was fishing for information on the case and let her do most of the talking. So Bubba was trying to see if he can get any information from Billy Joe. So that's why he recorded it. So people hate me, she said in despair. Billy Joe said she was away when Quinton went missing and that she had no idea that the children were in danger. I promise you, she says, I would have never, ever, ever left them babies in a situation that was bad for them, she told the boy's father. I knew Leilani and Danny were having their problems, but I didn't see it affecting the kids, she continued. So I want to know if Billy Joe knew her daughter was on drugs. I want to know that. Because when the whole September 7th happened, the fight between Grandma and Leilani called law enforcement. When law enforcement arrived, Leilani's brother tells them that Leilani's always is doing drugs and she's always stealing from her mom. And this has been happening for a long time, basically. So I want to know, were you aware that your daughter and her boyfriend were doing effing drugs? I just have a hard time thinking you weren't aware of it. So if you're aware of her doing drugs, I don't think she should have been in care of her children. I mean, Grandma knows her daughter better than any of us. But I think she's just, trying to sugarcoat and cover some of the choices and decisions she's made in the past, I think. Now she said, so Billy said, the stress has been wearing her down and the noise of the protesters gathered outside her house, honking horns and yelling baby killers into the night has made life more unbearable, she says. She explained that she tried to escape the noise earlier last week, let's talk about this, by traveling to Tybee Island, a nearby vacation resort. She, Leilani, and a few friends checked into a motel, then went out drinking at a bar. We all know we discussed it and all of that last time. They were media reports of them downing shots of Patron while smiling on the day the FBI began a search for little Quinton in the landfill. And we talked about that in the live stream. And I think most of us were pretty pissed over that. Now, Billy Joe was mortified when the news got out, telling Bubba that they should have just stayed at the motel rather than go out drinking at Stingray's. Yeah, you should have. We left from here, Savannah, because of the protesters, she said. It's got so bad. My friends come from out of town that come down here to support me. They stay close to me for 2 days and then decided get a room at the beach for 2 days. We went down there and I told them I don't think it's a good idea that we go out in public with you all. I think it's better we stay here at the motel room. And they're like, what? You can't go have dinner, she continued. Now, again, it seems like she's blaming her friends for her own choices. Like, take responsibility. No wonder why your daughter can't even take responsibility for herself. You can't even take responsibility for going having drinks. Now, she rationalized in her head, yeah, why can't we go have dinner, she says. You know what I mean? And the next thing you know, we were partying and screaming and hollering. Well, at least she admits they were partying. And that's not the case, she says. Oh, that's not the case. Leilani didn't even drink. Now, I drank both drinks that was ordered for Leilani. I drank a friend's drink and I drank mine. So I was messed up. So she's claiming her daughter didn't drink nothing at all. I mean, do you guys believe Leilani didn't drink anything? Hey, Melmac. I don't know. I don't believe that shit either. I just think she's covering up for her daughter. Now she says, and then of course I went and laid on the beach and just cried, she said, but they didn't play that part, you know? And if she was shit-faced, I do believe she probably did go to the beach and start crying, especially with everything going on, because usually when you've been drinking, it hits all kinds of emotions. Now, at one point in the conversation, Bubba asked how Leilani was doing, and Billy Joe replied that she's doing the best she can. Leilani's been trying to keep her mind busy with doing a lot of recovery stuff, she says. Leilani, who has a history of abusing drugs, is starting a rehab program this week. Oh, okay. She pointed out. She also is receiving counseling through a city program called Hugs. Oh, I didn't know that. I must have missed that. So I guess Leilani's going to start a rehab program this week, which, I mean, you know, I'm all support of, you know, someone trying to, you know, get clean. And she's also receiving counseling through the program Hugs. But maybe if she gets sober, maybe it'll eat her up where she'll confess to what happened, because she knows what happened. Like, let's cut the bullshit. She knows what happened, in my opinion. She knows what happened to him. Maybe she'll get sober and feel the guilt so bad she will confess. I'm gonna pray for that. Now, she's got a lot of different stuff going on, she said. The bad thing is I'm asking, hey, what can I do? So I guess she's asking Leilani, what can I do? She said she's desperate to regain a sense of normal. Oh my gosh, she wants life to go back to normal. Leilani wants life to go back to normal. Well, we want Quinton to be alive and laughing and thriving. So you're never going to have a life that's normal. You're going to have to realize, you know, find normal life in prison. Sorry. I can't believe some of the shit I'm reading right now. It's been really hard, she says. She confided to Bubba and the protesters and stuff like that out there. We can't even process what's our next move needs to be and what we need. I'm trying to figure out if it's a good idea that I go back to work, she added, and I needed to go back to work. The last thing I want to do is bring this kind of attention to the job site. I won't have a job long. Oh, imagine if it turns into another Dawn Wells situation and the protesters go to her job. Yeah, she'll never have a normal life again. I mean, she'll find the new norm, is how I say it, in prison. And now nobody can go anywhere by ourselves, she said. Everybody has to have a riding partner. You can't leave. The only time Leilani can leave is when we sneak her out for appointments that she has. Have you noticed this whole time, you guys? It's all been me, Leilani. Like, what about Quinton? He's in a landfill. Like, I just noticed this right now. I'm like, it's like all I'm hearing is me. And it's no wonder why her daughter sounds like that in the interview. She says, everybody has to be writing partner and you can't leave. The only time Leilani can leave is when we sneak her out for an appointment that she has, Billy Joe says. They kept returning to the subject of drugs and how that had played a role in Quinton's disappearance. So it says that you're a different person when you do drugs, Billy Joe said. I'm not defending her, you know what I mean? But I know I'm not the same person on drugs. Actually, if I'm on drugs, you all ain't going to see Billy nowhere because Billy got to go hide out with the addicts. I can't go to work. I can't look at people in the face. I gotta go. I gotta go MIA. But that's how I do. She says, well, I feel like if it was an accident, they should have just called the police, Bubba said. I agree, Billy said. Billy continued to vent about feeling trapped. Again, going back about how she's feeling again. The police told me that, a matter of fact, they told me if I felt like I needed to get away, I needed to leave and go somewhere, that Leilani needs to stay here, Billy said. So if law enforcement basically tells Billy, you can go anywhere you want, but your daughter needs to keep her ass here in this house. At one point, Billy Joe seemed to address a comment to both Bubba and Leilani, who may have been listening. So it seems like maybe when this conversation was happening that Leilani may have been listening to it. I wouldn't doubt it. She probably was right there. It says, I don't mean this in no kind of way, Leilani, but who the fuck don't leave their own house? Billy Joe said, you know what I mean? That's how you would feel if we was in different shoes. Who the fuck don't leave their own house? As the conversation winded down, Billy Joe offered Quinton's father some love. She says, I don't know, baby, but I know no matter what, you're in my family and you're in my heart. Ew, why are you calling him baby? I mean, he's not even in Quinton's life, what it seemed like. Yeah. She says, yeah, I just wanted to know if you all heard anything else. Bubba replied, I don't. Sheila's probably talking to him too, trying to see if he heard anything. As soon as I do, honey, you'll be the first one to know, she says. It was a late afternoon and Bubba's standing outside his home. Let's see. Oh, and it just says how they end their conversation. So pretty much Billy, all right, well, I'm fitting to go deer hunting, so I guess I'll talk to you later, he told Billy. So I guess Bubba was going to go deer hunting. And then she says, all right, I love you. And then he said, all right, I love you. And that's how it hung up. Before he hung up, she half joked, bring us some deer meat now. You know, we can't leave the house. He says, all right. And she replied, we're prisoners. Oh my God. So that was the article. Whew, and that pretty much gives us the transcript somewhat of the gist of what this 11-minute audio is all about. And I really want to hear, Billy Joe say, that she believes the evidence law enforcement has is weak. I want to hear all of that. But let me play this for you guys really quick. Let me get that off the screen and let's listen to this. This is like 30 seconds, you guys. It's not long. Hey guys, coming to you with a very short clip. So the audio you're about to hear is going to be a recording that was done between Henry, who is Bubba Moss, Quinton's dad, and Billy Joe, Quinton's grandmother. And during this audio, you can hear pretty much grandma giving her theory of what she thinks happened that night with Quinton. Basically, she thinks that there was an accident with the bathtub and that Leilani and her boyfriend Danny were on drugs and that there was an accident with the bathtub. Now, I think it's interesting that they're coming up with this theory. I do wonder if previously an accident had ever happened with one of the kids, maybe with the oldest one and a bathtub, or even with Quinton. I also wonder, what has Paul said about the evening that Quinton was there? Did he see Quinton take a bath? Did he see Leilani and, Danny doing drugs? I want to hear from Paul. I have so many questions for him. But take a listen to this short clip. And then later on, I'm going to be live. So make sure you guys hit notifications so you don't miss that live stream where we'll go more into discussion with this.
I feel strongly about that. I feel, honestly and truthfully, Bubba, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like there was an accident. I feel like something happened while Quinton was in the bathtub and he drowned, and they were both high. That's my theory.
Well, hell, they should just call the police if something like that happened.
If you're high as hell, man, you do stupid shit. Even yourself, you're a different person whenever you because I'm not defending her. You know what I mean? But I know I'm not the same person on this.
So what do you guys think? It looks weird with two of me on the screen. So that was just the short little snippet from that whole article. And I really want them to put out all of it. It's interesting though that, Billie Joe is saying that she thinks, they don't have much evidence, that whatever they have is pretty weak. It's interesting to know that's what she's thinking. And while I'm getting this ready, if you guys haven't done so already, can you guys hit the like button? I would appreciate that. All right. So we're going to watch Leilani's interview that she has done. I clipped all of them together. I did some editing to it, so you're going to see a lot of different little things added to it. And then I clipped in at the very end some law enforcement professionals, their feedback of what they thought when they watched Leilani's interview. So let me share my screen. I will be stopping and playing, but for the most part, I will be in chat. So let me hit play.
Chatham County Police have repeatedly said that though they've named Leilani the prime suspect in her son's disappearance and death, they don't believe she's a flight risk. Leilani says that she and her mother, Billie Howell, spend their days in the backyard of their home because it's too difficult to be inside with reminders of Quinton and the fact that he's gone.
Every day that goes by is less tears and more anger, not knowing what's happening, if that's even understandable. You wake up every day angry, hoping that you're going to get a phone call, and that phone call just doesn't come. We need to come out of this, but mostly we want him not to be found in that landfill. We want him found happy and alive. Happening, if that's even understandable. You wake up every day angry, hoping that you're going to get a phone call, and that phone call just doesn't come. We need to come out of this, but mostly we want him not to be found in that landfill. We want him found happy and alive. We want him back in our arms, holding us. That's what we want. We're just hoping that he's inside.
You notice how when Leilani is saying that, she turns to her mom, kind of like for comfort or something. Her mom ain't giving her nothing. Her mom can't even look at her. She looks so disgusted. And it's like she knows better. Like, come on. The mom knows the truth. We know, I said this before, we know when our kids are lying.
Somebody's house and they're feeding him, and they were hoping that, maybe they wanted a baby or couldn't have a baby. Maybe they thought they were his savior. But it's not. That's their best hopes at this point.
I feel like this part speaks so much volume for me. I mean, as a mom, when your kid is lying, and then she's talking about his savior. What is she even talking about? Why did I get like a Don Wild situation here? What is she even? Yeah, his savior. And then the whole time she's saying that, just Billie Joe's face is just like, I wonder what she's thinking. I would love to know what Billie Joe was thinking this whole time.
Makes it hard to even process what's going on around us. We get to the point that we have to barricade our own home in order to feel safe in our backyard. Because we can't even process what's happening everywhere else or even have the time to do so. I can't even walk out and appreciate my own son's memorial or put down the gifts that I got for him. I can't even go out there and do that without harassment and negligence and just everything. It's devastating to see that this is how the outside world reacts. It makes it hard to even process what's going on around us. We get to the point that we have to barricade our own home in order to feel safe in our backyard. Because we can't even process what's happening everywhere else or even have the time to do so. I can't even walk out and appreciate my own son's memorial or put down the gifts that I got for him. I can't even go out there and do that without harassment and negligence and just everything. It's devastating to see that this is how the outside world reacts.
It's devastating that this is how the outside world reacts. Leilani, I mean, how did you think the world was going to react? You have law enforcement. This isn't your son. This isn't a theory of your son went missing, that somebody, let's go with what she has said on the well, we don't have the 911 call, we have the dispatch call, but she wakes up, her son isn't in the playpen area that she left him in. The door is open, and then she thinks someone took him because he cannot open the door himself. This isn't that. That didn't happen, okay? We have law enforcement telling us that they have evidence that you placed your baby, 20-month-old baby, in a dumpster. And then unbeknownst to the workers, they take the dumpster, what was in it, thinking it's just trash, and they put it to a landfill. So now law enforcement is searching a landfill. But she's shocked how the world is reacting. I don't even know what to say to that. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? I don't know how to react to that. Sky, that's a good question. She says, does anyone know her baseline? I tell you, we need Steve to be looking at this. She's saying, does anyone know her baseline before Quinton went missing? No, I don't. But that's a good question, Sky. I couldn't believe she is saying that. And I wonder if Billy Joe is like thinking the same thing that we're thinking. Like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Because look at her. She can't even look at the camera. She's just has her hands in her face, just covering her face right here. And then Leilani, you can see, even Leilani, she's like, you can see she wants to turn to her mom, like, trying to see what her mom's response is this whole time. It's unbelievable. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Right? I agree. Lock her up. Her time is coming. I have faith her time is coming. I mean, I hope it's coming. Nanny, she makes me so mad too. She makes me so mad. And I'm trying to be really cool today with you guys. Cooper says she looks healthy to be on drugs. So it seems like her drug of choice, what we've been hearing, would be cocaine, which I am surprised that she does look this healthy on being on cocaine. I know quite a few people who got addicted to cocaine, and they were really, really thin, really, really thin. But I'm wondering if she's not. I wonder if she does it every day, or if she do it like, I don't know, what's her habit actually like? You know what I mean? Is it an everyday situation she's on drugs, or is it once in a while? Is it on weekends? I don't freaking know. Every other week? I don't know. I was thinking the same thing though, Cooper. I know, Delana. I see you saying this everywhere. She says, I'm so sick and tired of seeing these beautiful and innocent children being harmed by the very same people that are supposed to be raising them and keeping them safe from harm. Amen to that. Yeah, me. And this is coming from neighbors who have said this. And I believe the babysitter made a comment like that. She said those babies were loose in the front yard by themselves, according to neighbors. Yes. It's clear the kids were not being supervised. It's clear the kids were not being taken care of. There's no doubt in that. And this is something that I see everywhere. She says BJ should be looking for the baby. Billy should be looking for the baby. And here's the thing that I want to say really quick. You know, I keep hearing people saying, people that support the family, that, you know, they can't search the landfill. They're not going to let you search the landfill. People should stop saying to search. Like, no shit. no shit. You can't search the landfill. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to let anybody go there and search. My problem with this is that where was all of this family? Where were they at when he first was reported missing? When the thought was someone came in and took him. Where were the flyers at? Where did they go search at? I don't think they searched anywhere. I don't think they passed out one flyer. None of that happened. That's the problem I had. How come they weren't searching in the beginning? I know you can't go to the landfill now. Like, I ain't stupid. I know you can't. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the beginning. When you guys all thought that he was, you know, someone came in and took him. This is the story that was put out. Why didn't you guys go with flyers on news media? Why weren't you out there passing out flyers, out there searching, going door to door? Why weren't you doing that? You know why they weren't doing it? Because they all knew Leilani's story was bullshit. They all knew that Leilani did something. That's why no one searched. I wish they would just come out and say, you know why we didn't search, you guys? Because we knew that Leilani did something. We know she did something. That's why we didn't search. But they're over here covering their own asses. Oh, we can't go search the landfill. Well, we know that. We know you can't. Where were you guys at in the beginning? That's what I want to know. That's what gets me heated when I see or I hear people saying, well, they can't go search the landfill. They're not going to let you. You know, they would if they could. Well, you didn't search for him before you knew he was there. Just stop. Stop. Oh, Billy Joe. Oh, you're right. You're right. Was drugs found in the baby's system, though? And Mars says, not every drugs make you look shot out. I know when I was on it, I looked shot out. I looked horrible. I did. Hey, Johnny. She looks like a pill popper. Well, it said that her drug is cocaine. We don't know if she does other drugs. Maybe. I don't know. But I know they have mentioned cocaine. I noticed that too, Meep, with what you're saying. The cars go fast on that road. Right, Mars? She says she should be jamming Leilani for the truth. Scott says there's a reason they aren't searching. One, he probably not in the landfill. His possibly bloody clothes and blankets and toys were. And two, he was probably dumped somewhere else by boyfriend. That could be true. That could be true. Yeah, no searching, no going on the media trying to show his flyer. There was none of that in the beginning, you guys. The drugs, yes, yeah, that's what I remember reading in the report. There was drugs in the little one. And the oldest one, correct? I don't have the report in front of me. Scott says, let's think about it real quick. She's on video dumping something in a dumpster, right? What if it was evidence? Oh, I already read that. Oh, no, I didn't. Dumpster, right? What if it was evidence, bloody clothes, toys, and blanket? What if boyfriend bagged up and hid him far away? That can be very much true. That can be it too. I would not be shocked if that end up being the case whatsoever, because in the beginning, I always said, you know, law enforcement, they have to look in his route to work. All right, let me play this.
Leilani and I spoke about a number of things, including what she remembers from the morning she first reported Quinton missing to what life has been like as the days have gone on still with no sign of Quinton. I talked to Leilani as well as her mother, Billy Howell, who were both just distraught over Quinton's disappearance. They say they've been harassed in the days and weeks since Quinton disappeared, but Leilani wants everybody to know that she's not running away.
I'm here. I've been here every day since this. I am not running and I'm not hiding. And if something does come up that I am at fault, I will take myself to that police station. Here, I've been here every day since this. I am not running and I'm not hiding. And if something does come up that I am at fault, I will take myself to that police station. Here, I've been here every day since this. I am not running and I'm not hiding. And if something does come up that I am at fault, I will take myself to that police station.
So basically, she's saying she will not confess to anything unless they find evidence of it, is what she's saying. And how the article we just read, how Billy, her mom, is saying that she doesn't believe the evidence, that she believes the evidence they have is weak. Yeah.
So she made a mistake.
She made a classic bad guy mistake with that statement. If they do find something that says I did it or that I'm responsible, I'll turn myself in. I've seen that kind of statement made time and time again by guilty parties.
Right. And I noticed too the body language of her mom. She was turning her face away from her, almost like it seemed to me as a seasoned investigator in disgust. I want to go back to the video too with mom and grandma. When we see Leilani talk and say, put the crying, not the crying, but put the upset face on. I didn't see any tears, but when she talks about her son, she never once mentions him by name. And that's like, for me, that's a big red flag. They both didn't say, "Grandma wants you home."
And the first time I listened to that, I totally missed it. But they don't. Leilani doesn't mention him by name. She doesn't at all.
Mommy wants you home. We miss you. Whoever's got you, bring him back. They just said, we hope that someone that couldn't have a baby has him and is feeding him. But they never mentioned them by name.
Yeah, again, this goes back to what I said in many cases. You have normal behavior in parents dealing with situations like this, and then you have the abnormal behavior. And in my opinion, this falls in the abnormal behavior. Now, you may say each person deals with things differently, but it's incomprehensible for me as a parent if I got information or law enforcement believes that my child who's missing is in a landfill, I'd be at that landfill every day.
Yeah.
Okay. And we don't see that. And then on top of things, she's not helping herself by her activities. Right. Going to a bar and bumping and grinding or whatever she.
And Pink Fan, you are so correct. She says they don't say his name at all, and what they do say is all about them. And just like with the article that we just read with Bubba and Billy, it was like all about me, us. Nothing really about Quinton whatsoever. It was all about them, and that's Billy Joe. Yeah, we're seeing it with the Leilani right here, but in the article, let's not forget, that was Billy Joe I read all about. That was her statements and everything. All I read from Billy Joe was me. Nothing about Quinton. It's both of them.
She's alleged to have done in the bar and,
doing shots and getting bartenders' numbers and trying to hook up or make contacts with people. She actually sent the text message to the person after they left. They were drinking shots of Patron. That's just behavior that a grieving mom or a mom that's upset shouldn't be doing. Activities that she shouldn't be doing. She should be handing out flyers. She should be out with the people who are out in front of her house. Maybe not those people, because they're being a little hostile towards her because of the lack of activity. But handing out flyers or like you said, shouting from the rooftop for her son, demanding answers from the police department. But what we see is the complete opposite. She's shut down. Somebody told me last night on dutyaround.com that the mom was seen twerking in the window of her home, egging on the people who are outside protesting in front of her house or demanding answers. So I mean, this is indicative of somebody that's not mentally well, and she's definitely not thinking in the right frame of mind. What were you going to say, Ed?
Well, she's not doing anything to garner sympathy for her missing child and her plight.
Right.
She's not showing any of the normal, what I would deem normal signs of a parent who's missing their child.
Right. Yeah. No compassion. There are lots of people in the chat here. No compassion for that baby boy. Just everything that would tell you she's wreaking guilt there in that interview right there. And unbeknownst to her, it's clear and apparent that, she is not concerned about what's going on. She's more concerned about when they're going to find him. And that was my takeaway from that interview.
So this is Jennifer Coffin Duffer. She also posted about what she thought about after watching the interview with Leilani, and she says, wow, caught this little nugget. If something does come up that I am not at fault, I will take myself to that police station, Leilani Simon said. And then Jennifer says in here, her experience, she's a retired, let me see, what's her resume? She has it on here. So she's a wife, proud mom of 3, retired FBI agent, law enforcement network analyst, expert witness, and self-defense, firearms instructor, firearms beyond. Yeah, she does all of that. She's amazing. And that was. And then she says, in her experience, this is not the statement of someone innocent. She says, if I were the detective responsible for interviewing Quinton Simon's mom, I would be journaling each of her statements. Maybe they thought they were her savior. Saved from what, she says. We'll go a step further today. Not words of innocence, words of guilt, she says, when it comes to Leilani. And these are professionals right here that are stating what they think off of what Leilani has said. I just love when they say the same thing that I have been saying.
And her mom, Billy Howell, yesterday. Here's a closer look at what Howell, Quinton's grandma, had to say.
I just remember showing up and being devastated. Just not like it wasn't even real. It took me a couple of days to even comprehend that he wasn't here. And I shook and shook and shook and shook, and I shake whenever I go to bed.
Quinton's disappearance has brought a wave of protesters to the side.
Just not like.
Really look at Leilani's facial expressions, her eyes and everything. Because what her mom is saying is when she got home, and everything happened and she learned about everything, just look at her face. Like Leilani knows exactly what happened. You can see it. She knows what happened. It's like all in her eyes. I know what happened. I'm responsible. It's all in her eyes. Look at.
and her mom, Billy Howell, yesterday. Here's a closer look at what Howell, Quinton's grandma, had to say.
I just remember showing up and being devastated. Like, just not, like it wasn't even real. It took me a couple of days to even comprehend that he wasn't here. And I shook and shook and shook and shook, and I shake whenever I go to bed.
Quinton's disappearance has brought a wave of protesters to the Simon home, calling for arrests and justice for Quinton. Police haven't charged anyone in Quinton's case and haven't announced any findings at the landfill.
We have no answers. We have no more than what everybody else has. Everybody just has theories, and they're running with theories. And by them doing that is what's causing all of this. We have no more answers than anybody else.
You notice when the mom is saying we have no answers, Leilani's like shaking her head, and I feel it's because she knows she has the answers. Like, look at her right here. It's so telling. These two clips right here, I think out of everything we've watched, these are the two clips that I'm like, man, you can tell Leilani knows what freaking happened there. Like, you see it all in her eyes. And when her mom is saying that, she's like shaking her head right there. She knows what happened. Just confess already.
No answers. We have no more than what everybody else has. Everybody just has theories, and they're running with theories. And by them doing that is what's causing all of this. We have no more answers than anybody else.
They have no answers. You would think she'd be like, yeah, we have no answers. She's like shaking her head the whole time. Did I see a smile on, I don't know where, let me see. Hold on. I always rewind it too much and you guys get mad at me. Okay, hold on.
No answers. We have no more than what everybody else has. Everybody just has theories, and they're running with theories.
You mean right there? Maybe like if she's trying to hold back a smile, maybe a little bit. I can see it right there if that's where you're talking. I've seen other people say that too, Leo.
And by them doing that is what's causing all of this. We have no more answers than anybody else.
As a memorial to remember this happy, loving baby boy, not to sit there and put profanity in a way in his memorial.
People who want to come and share things for Quinton and love him for the great little boy he is. That's what he needs.
I feel the same way too, especially with mine, because mine, one's 12 and one's 17. And I said, it's something I'll say, think before you answer. Think before you answer, because I know when you're lying. And then they still try to tell me a little fib or something. But I always tell them, like, I feel like us moms, we know when they're lying. There's just no doubt about that. Let's see. His grandmother said his name one time. Leilani never said his name. Keep saying my baby, my little boy, sweet little boy. Say his name. You're his mother. Yeah. I didn't notice that until I watched Duty Ron. He did deserve better. He totally did. All right, you guys. I cannot stay any longer. I have to go do mom things. I know this was like short and I didn't get to chit chat with you guys, but tomorrow I am going to be live. I will be sharing some things with you, and we will be going through the interview somewhat of that Leilani's half brother did. and some things I noticed on there, and then I had to reach out to the babysitter to get clarifications on it. So I will be live early tomorrow. It's going to be a coffee and crime live, so super early, and then I will be able to talk to you guys more. And then I'm also going to open the panel up. You can come up, we can watch it together and discuss and go everything. It'll be more of a discussion live tomorrow. Today I just want to come on here really quick with this. So thank you guys. Hi, Apple of His Eye. And Leo says, I know the feeling. Mine are 16 and 12. Oh my God, Leo, we almost have, well, did I say 17? Mine's 18. 18. I forget she's 18 now. 18. But yeah, I feel like we know when they're lying. We know when they're lying. All right, you guys. So thank you guys. And Delana, will you be coming up on panel? Oh, I hope you will tomorrow. That would be awesome. So I know I'm going. What is that? Awesome. Okay. Go over there. Bye. They're saying hi to you. All right, you guys. So I will be here tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys all soon. And bye, guys.